Hello everyone, I'm Brian Alden. I'm joined today by head women's basketball coach Chris Paul. And Chris, a lot of games in a few amount of days again. 3 games in 5 days. Once again, what you called last week, the NBA schedule.
Right.
But coming off an overtime loss to Detroit, and then a big win at Chicago State yesterday. What did you take away from both those games?
Well, the Detroit game obviously was frustrating because I felt like we were in position. We played hard. It's the most rebounds we've had all year. We had 52 rebounds. We had 21 offensive rebounds. Our kids put tremendous effort into that game, and we couldn't shoot. And it wasn't just threes. It was layups, and it was free throws, and we just really struggled shooting the basketball. But all that being said, we had a 3-point lead with 7 seconds to go and had a chance to win it, and then ended up losing in overtime. So I was proud of our effort. I know if we continue to play that hard, we're going to win games. And we didn't even talk about it going to Chicago State. I mean, the shooting. We didn't even talk about it, Chicago State. We just focused on continuing to play hard, trying to get off to a fast start. And maybe that's the key. We didn't even talk about shooting because we came out and made everything we shot early against Chicago State, and were able to get a win there.
And you talk about getting off to a hot start. I mean, you guys started on a 17-2 run against Chicago State. Obviously, 16 threes, third most in school history. Obviously, you can talk about shooting all day, but what are some of the things you took away from that game?
That we're resilient. That this group understands that. We talk a lot about it, Brian, that it's a marathon, not a sprint. That it's a 29-game season, not a 1-game season. You're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. And we can't dwell on it. We had to bounce back, and the kids did. They bounced back, and that's a little bit of a trap game if you think about it. You're playing at noon. It's a quick turnaround. You're playing at noon. You're playing against a team who hasn't had a lot of success this year. So you could go in there thinking that maybe we can just go through the motions, and the kids didn't. They came out focused and offensively and defensively. I know we made some shots, but defensively, to hold them to only 6 field goals in the first half. I mean, we were focused at both ends, so I was really proud of the way we bounced back after 3 straight losses. And now we're focused on trying to get a winning streak going.
And you talk about that, facing Northern Kentucky this weekend. Kind of an old rivalry from even before you started as head coach here, but a lot of meetings back in the early 2000s, back when we were part of the GLVC. But what have you seen from the Norse, and what are you kind of expecting this weekend?
That it's a completely different style than what we've just played the last 2 games, or actually the last 4 games, if I think about it. They're a more deliberate basketball team. They're a little slower tempoed. They run a lot of sets. There's a lot of screens. They're patient on offense. They're only averaging 55 points a game, so they want to slow the tempo down. So obviously that counters how we try to play. We want to get up and down the floor. We want to run. We want to shoot when we're open. We want that tempo fast. So we're going to have to be focused and locked in defensively, because this is the type of team that if you fall asleep somewhere, they're going to get a good look. And so after we do that, we've got to get on the glass, and we really want the transition. We want to run up and down the floor. We want to play fast and try to make them keep up with us.
And you think that's probably going to be your key this weekend to kind of focus on to get that win, is just to keep up that tempo?
Yes, and I think it's going to be a key for the rest of the year, because as you can tell, we're playing a lot of people, a lot of minutes, and that's what I want. That's what we've always tried to build here, a 9-10 player rotation to continue to wear people out, not only now, but mostly in February and March, when some kids from other teams have been logging 30, 32, 33 minutes game after game after game. And we've got a bunch playing 17, 18, 20 minutes. Hopefully we can start wearing some teams down and be playing our best basketball when March comes around.
All right, Coach, thanks for taking the time, and good luck on Saturday against Northern Kentucky.
Thanks, Brian.